What's everybody? Tony Price here for the Gold Star Ride Foundation with the family dog who's playing with the toy over there, but she's going to interrupt us once or twice throughout this message. Christmas is family time. Everybody wants their families to be together at Christmas time, and everybody wants everybody to enjoy the season and be nice to each other. Even though we know in the back of our minds there are some people who would wish us harm. Okay, that's the camera. Try not to bump the camera. No, my favorite Christmas wish this year came from my friend Sharif. Sharif went out of his way to deliberately and premeditatedly call me to wish me a Merry Christmas and a happy season. Sharif is a Muslim who happens to be a U.S. immigrant. I think that was my favorite greeting this year. He and I have been friends for more than 10 years. You know, there are people out there who do want to hurt us, who do wish us harm, and it's easy for us to imagine that there are people who practice a different religion than we do. And it's okay to be defensive so long as you have evidence that somebody's trying to attack you. Throwing the thing for the dog again. I think Jesus, remember Jesus? He's the guy whose birthday we celebrate. I think Jesus would have wanted us to protect ourselves. Jesus was asked once what the greatest commandment was. And it was a trick question, of course, but he answered it with something that was rather incredible. He said there were two, and the second one of those was love your neighbor as yourself. My personal belief is that a neighbor is anyone who happens to be a human being. I would like to say that it's any other human being on Earth, but you know, just in case there's somebody up there in that International Space Station, I don't want them to feel left out. Really? Are you going to say hi to the camera? Dogs and their toys, aren't they fun? But the key here is those last two words of that second commandment, as yourself. See, I do believe that we're supposed to love ourselves. Because we're supposed to love ourselves, I think that we need to protect ourselves. That means even when that aunt that you haven't seen for a year shows up at the Christmas feast and has too much wine and starts reminding everyone of all of the bad things that they've ever done in their life, well, that's abusive, and you got to protect yourself from that. And you got to protect your family from that. And stopping that drunken aunt from hurting other people is not the absence of love. It's the proof of it. You know, every now and then, one of us humans raises a kid who becomes the adult that we had hoped that they would become. They become responsible and respectful people, and they take over the challenge of protecting the rest of the family. They become the reason that we trip over our tongues when we start bragging about them. Sometimes these incredible young adults volunteer for a bad haircut and what a lot of people would argue is bad clothing. And they learn who is trying to hurt us, and they say to those people, you're going to have to kill me first. They don't do it for the glory, right, dog? They don't do it for the glory. They do it because it's the right thing to do. Our kids give up time with their family. They give up time with their own families. They give up going to college. They give up watching the birth of their children. They give up their baby's first steps. They volunteer to stay away from home at Christmas time, when all of the rest of us just want to get together. It's been said that the greatest generation was those that were the survivors of the World War II era. Well, that might be true, but I think our current group of volunteers could go toe-to-toe with them. These are the guys who sleep in bunks on ships that are stacked 4 high, and they're so close to the bunks across the room that they can reach over and pick that guy's nose without getting out of their own bunk. These are the guys who carry 50-pound backpacks with everything they need to live off the land. These are guys who sleep in a hole they dug in the ground with a shovel that they carried in that same backpack. These are the guys who go out looking for bad people who want to hurt us, and they shoot real bullets at them to try to get them to stop. And they have their legs blown off and their bodies shot up and their lives taken from us when they're way too young. Whenever I meet a Gold Star family, I try to imagine what it must be like for these wonderful people who fed, instructed, and inspired these young kids to go out and protect the rest of us. I think about the laughter around their Christmas feast. And I think of that classic Dickens tale of Tiny Tim. But even in the classic tale, Tiny Tim's chair never went empty. But for the Gold Star families, nobody will ever sit in that chair again. So in 2017, when the Gold Star Ride Foundation takes off on our trip to visit 100 Gold Star families in 49 states, a trip that's going to take us 2 months and go between 18 and 22,000 miles, I'm hoping that I can tell them how much we appreciate and how much we are saddened because they experienced the loss that they did. Hopefully when I get there, they won't treat me like the drunken uncle who's had too much to drink. So you can help us help them. Go to goldstarride.org, make a little donation, read up about us, leave us a comment, send us an email. We really appreciate it when you subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Oh wait, Twitter. I don't think you were on Twitter. But you might be able to find something if you just search a hashtag GoldStarRide. Something might be there. goldstarride.org. That's where you can connect with us and help us get this mission accomplished. We really do appreciate all of your support. We're all in this together. Merry Christmas, everyone.